Hey everyone, Reaper here again with Reaper Picks Volume 7. More short box pulls. I enjoyed making the last one, just going through the boxes, picking out a bunch of books that you may have seen over and over again, or some that you maybe saw once and stuff like that. So I figured, hey, let's just pick out a couple more books and let's just enjoy them together, right? For those of you that have some of these or want some of these are great books to have. And once again, you don't always have to buy books because they're investment quality. You could buy books because you buy books because you like them and you're very happy with them. They give you satisfaction. They they satisfy your collecting runs or whatever. It's all up to you. It's all up to the individual. With that, let's get started, right? Let me just see if I can adjust this just a little bit. And here we go. I have quite a few books I want to show you. This is going to be the last of this type of Reaper Picks video. I'm going to try to come up with a new idea for Reaper Picks with Volume 8. Wish me luck. Okay, let's start with this one. Evil Ernie #1. First appearance of Evil Ernie and Lady Death, probably more importantly. I got that back at the New York Comic Con back in 2014. It was one of the books on the list that I was really trying to get, and I was lucky to get it. Here's one I don't show off. I think I showed this once, and I haven't showed it again. Tales of Suspense #50, the first appearance of the Mandarin. Ooh. I saw parts of I didn't see all of Iron Man 3. I saw parts of it, and I was just, am I the only one that was like, what am I watching here? Here's a classic cover for all of you Silver Surfer Original Run fans. Not as classic as the one that I think you might be thinking of, but pretty cool. Silver Surfer #3. I mean, the artwork on this is just fantastic. I mean, you open up the book and you see Mephisto. Some of the scenes with Mephisto are just like real creepy. So it's definitely a book to try to get if you're into that. You like the artwork, you like Silver Surfer. Really cool to have. Here's another one. I've always wanted this book. I mean, I have it, but I remember when I was a kid, when I was collecting comics in the early teen, I was like, oh, it'd be cool to have this book. I like the character, and be nice to add it to my collection one day. So here I am showing it off to you again. Marvel Spotlight #5, the first appearance of the Bronze Age Ghost Rider. I think the more famous of the Ghost Riders. I think there were a couple of them, right? There was the Phantom Rider and the original Ghost Rider from the Golden Age. I don't know too much about those other characters, so maybe you could fill me in the comments a little bit about them. But I think Johnny Blaze is the more popular one of the incarnations of the Ghost Rider, or at least to me. That would probably be a better way to say it. To me. I take ownership of that. Here's one that I got back in the New York Comic Con 2016. Pretty popular book right now. Very popular character, coming off the heels of a very successful movie, which I have yet to see. Ta-da! Fantastic Four #52, the first appearance of the Black Panther. Look at this cover. Isn't that awesome? Very difficult to get in high grade. Mine is probably like a 4.0. The guy says it's a 5.0 that sold it to me, but what the hell does he know? But I still think it's a very nice copy, complete, attached, no restoration as far as I could tell. But I am no expert. But really, really cool to have. Moving along, let's get some Batman books. What's a Reaper book? What's a Reaper video without some Batman books, right? Well, let's start with this one. I think I only have two. Batman 155, the first Silver Age appearance of the Penguin. I think some people argue whether or not this is his first appearance in the Silver Age. Some people say Batman 99 is true first appearance in Silver Age. I don't know. I've heard that. I don't know how true it is. I didn't do too much research on it, but I just figured I'd throw it out there just in case somebody says, no, that's not his real first Silver Age appearance. Well, I don't know. It's generally regarded as his first Silver Age appearance. Pretty cool. I think, what is this, a 6.0 copy I have? One day I will have the first appearance of the Penguin. Here's another cool book. It's a low grade for sure. Covers detached. Maybe one day I'll upgrade it. I'm upgrading a lot of my books, and I'll tell you something. I'm upgrading a lot of my Spideys. And when I say upgrade, I don't mean I'm upgrading them to 9.0s. I'm upgrading to maybe 4.5s, 5.0s, maybe 5.0s, stuff like that. I'm having a lot of fun doing that. I've noticed that I'm really appreciating the hobby doing that instead of just trying to let me get this book, let me get that book. I mean, to each his own, right? And that's what I used to do, but I'm really having a lot of fun just upgrading the books and looking at them and saying, wow, it's nice to have a better copy of this book than what I've had for so long. Because a lot of my early Spidey books that I have in my collection, or had in my collection, since I'm moving those out and getting the upgrades, come from 1993, 1994, and 1996. So I was able to get what I could get back then. I was a teenager. I didn't really have a good job back then. I was just got what I could get, or I got because it was a present for some reason, a birthday present or a graduation present or whatever. But now I'm just enjoying getting the upgrades and really beefing up my Spidey collection. And getting a few books that I didn't have, ever. But this is definitely one book. Long story short, too late. This is definitely one book I'd like to upgrade one day, maybe next year. Detective Comics 184, the first appearance of Firefly. Not an A-list Batman villain, but still pretty cool to have. Now I want to show some magazines. They are magazines. I think they're all magazines. Before I finish the video with a few more comics, let me show some magazines. This one right here, I think, is pretty cool to have. I don't see it that often, but this is Deadline #1. The first appearance of Tank Girl. I thought it was a pretty cool book to have. It's not something you see every day. I think I've had this for well over a year now. I like Tank Girl. The movie was okay. I remember when that came out. That's when I first heard of her. But, yeah, nice to have it. Here's one that I know a lot of you will know about. If you're unfamiliar with Tank Girl, I'm pretty sure you know the significance of this one, Savage Tales #1. It's the first appearance of Man-Thing. Man-Thing, who I've read, I don't know how true it is, I see some truth in it, who influenced the creation of Swamp Thing. Here's a couple magazines that are not comics. Might want to forward through this. I have some of the original Nintendo Powers. Here's the 3rd issue. And they're all pretty high grade, actually. Track and Field 2. Who remembers Track and Field 2? I do. And I didn't like it that much. But this was the 3rd issue that came out in... Was it November, December? November, December 1988. I was getting these in the mail when Nintendo Power first came out because my parents had purchased me the Nintendo in the spring of 1988, and when you bought the Nintendo, inside the box they had advertisements for the new magazine that they were going to be releasing in the fall. And I remember my mom said, "Oh, do you want this?" I was like, "Oh yeah, sure." She says, "You're not going to get the first issue till September, according to this." I was like, "Oh, that's all right," and I sort of forgot about it. And then the issues started coming in the mail. But this was the 3rd one. My favorite one, of course, for many reasons, is this one. The 2nd issue of Nintendo Power, the controversial issue of Castlevania 2, of Simon Belmont holding Dracula's head in his hands and seeing all the body parts that you had to collect in Simon's quest. Caused controversy among parents. This was giving their kids nightmares and stuff. And it actually, this came out September, October. Actually, the first issue came out in, July, August, which is the next one I'm going to show you. The very first issue of Nintendo Power with Super Mario Brothers 2 as the showcase. I like the early ones that they showed, like this sort of clay sort of design. They did that for quite a few issues of Nintendo Power before they did more of an art drawing, cartoon sort of style. That's it for the magazines. Now I just want to finish up with a few more comics. We're approaching the 9-minute mark. I'll try to go through this fast. Some Spideys. I think eventually I'd like to upgrade this book. Amazing Spider-Man #20, the first appearance of the Scorpion. Here's the one I definitely want to upgrade, maybe this year. Amazing Spider-Man 50, classic Romita cover. I don't mind John Romita. I'm not a big fan of him. I prefer Steve Ditko. I know there are people who are Ditko fans, people who are Romita fans. I understand. Romita is a great artist. I recognize that. This is one of the classic covers he did. But it's also the first appearance of the Kingpin, so it's very, very cool to have. And definitely going to be selling this one day to upgrade, to get a better upgrade. 3 more. Let's go to X-Men. One of my favorite series of all time. X-Men #4, the first appearance of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants and the second appearance of Magneto. Man, I wanted this book for decades, and it was very nice to finally get it. Here's another great one to have if you're a new X-Men fan. When I say new X-Men, I mean the new team that came after the original team. I don't mean like one of the many, many million incarnations of new X-Men teams that came out within recent decades. X-Men '94, the first time that the new X-Men team appeared in the main title. Love it. And the very last one I'm going to show for this video, thank you for watching for these 11 minutes. A book that's certainly heated up. I have a pretty high grade copy. I should probably get this graded. I would say it's at least a 9.0, maybe a 9.2. X-Men 101, the first appearance of the Phoenix. I guess this is going up in value because of, the Phoenix is going to be forerunner in the new X-Men movie. Whether it stays hot afterwards, I don't know, but it's still a really awesome book to have, especially for those early new X-Men runs. Thank you all for watching the latest Reaper Picks video. I'm going to be coming out with some more comic book videos and new video game videos pretty soon. So stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Take care, everyone.